Hello and welcome to Webs Plays Games. We're playing Timberborn Update 6 and we're on the Beaverome map. This is a map we've been playing on stream, but today we've got a big project, so it's going to be a YouTube exclusive. So far on this map, we've been mostly trying to survive. So our first big project was to isolate our water sources to keep away the bad water, because each cycle this was getting more and more contaminated and was never clearing up. So we had to get desperate and built a large earth structure, which took quite a long time. But once that was in place, we were able to get down to the basics and we're in quite a good place now. We could do with some more logs, but planks, treated planks, gears, dynamite, the essentials we're doing quite well on. We have just introduced a new lumberjack in this area, so hopefully that will help build that up. Over here we're starting to flatten this area because we recently relocated all our beavers, and I want to do something with an area of water here and some lidos and perhaps some carousels just to help their well-being. So we're in the process of flattening all this over here. I won't blow it quite yet because there's a few bits left to put in, but that won't be long. But the focus of today's video is going to be over here, because this area has water sources, but it's never quite clean from the bad tide. So in the last stream we set up these scavengers, and they have been clearing out a huge amount of scrap metal here for us. So you can see we're at 1.4k of scrap metal. That is largely from here. We're just clearing the space, and we can start building a lid on these water sources with some sluice gates here and a pipe going off the side of the map here, which will allow us to turn all this into reliably fresh water. Okay, time to start laying it out. First things first, can we fit one of these? No. Okay, so we can't have an overhang directly over the top of a water source. It's going to need some clearance, so that tells us where our base layer needs to be, because I want as a minimal amount of water under here as possible, just so the volume of clean water outside is at the maximum and it takes less time to clear. Because over in this area we initially didn't have this centre, which meant all of this square was bad water, and even though it was isolated, it was taking forever to clear off. On the previous streams, the videos are archived on the YouTube channel, but they are quite a long watch. We built this tunnel system out of here, where sluice gates under these tiles somewhere release the bad water down and underneath and through here past the water sources, up, out, and all the bad tide is pushed out this side of the map. Now this side was a different consideration because we were trying to stop the bad water backing up and overflowing, but that didn't work, which is why we've had to cap all this off, because we were getting quite a lot of sloshing over the sides and contaminated beavers. So as much as I liked the exposed bad water running, we had to cap it. But as part of that, we made our exit really wide because it was handling a lot of outflow, which it's technically capable of handling, but we're still getting too much slosh. But that won't be a consideration over here because we're not dealing with two lots. It's all going to be contained, so we can have a nice wide row of sluice gates for the fresh water, but the bad water we can funnel out with just a single block of tunnel. So we should get started building that once it's daytime. Okay, now that night cycle's coming to an end, we can get on. And because we know we need it too high, I am going to use dirt blocks to start lifting things up. This does get a little bit risky because it's going to involve builders coming underwater to build this. So before I start too far, I'm going to go into workplaces, builders huts, and I'm going to put all and I'm going to put all our builders huts over to bots. We haven't got quite enough bots to fulfill that, but I don't want any beavers coming down and working under this water because they will get ill. We've got antidote, but it's not worth the aggravation. So we'll get these walls around the outside. Now that's in, we get our sluice gates, and these will be set to close above contamination. Keep it nice and low, 2%. I didn't leave a hole this side for the pipe, so we need to decide where we're going to put that. You see the beavers are starting to get down here now. Are you bringing dirt? Yeah, excellent. I think for the pipe, we're just going to use platforms. And we've got plenty of metal, but there's no point burning through it all using overhangs if we don't absolutely need to. So 8 point where it goes up a step, we're going to want a double. I'm trying to avoid bringing the pipe too close to where we're living because we don't want the contamination. Yeah, we'll come across this way with this. It's a bigger step up here. That's the basic route of the tunnel in. Time to just put some impermeable floors on. Need to be careful with these. Because we don't need... Oh dear. Because we're not going to need them all the way to the end because we're going to have to block the sides with levees. So just get them in where we can. You can build levees on top of the impermeable tiles, but it's a waste of a block of metal. So come with the levees and fill all these gaps in here. And then the sides. I think for the sides, because we are quite low on logs, I'm not going to use levees. I am going to use terrain, which we can't do on top because you can't build dirt on top of anything, but we can for the sides, so we shall. I'm actually going to hide the levees as well because I don't like them. Well, this is great. We've got the sluice gates in down here already. Making great progress. Gonna have to start putting some paths in to make sure they can reach everywhere. These are only temporary, so they don't need to be perfect. And also, they're going to need to be able to get up here to build this. What I haven't done, this needs to be a sluice gate. So this section here expands outside the top of the water, but that's fine because it will push the water out, the bad water out anyway. But also I want to increase the depth of this entire pool because at the moment it's quite a long way down from all the edges. So with a few floodgates or dams here, we can raise the water up. And potentially, I would quite like it to be the same level as this pool. so we can have water running straight through our farm and out the other side. But that will require building up the wall all around here. So we'll have to see if we want to commit to that. But in the meantime, I think we will build the terrain up here one more level, just to give us that extra depth. And also, it will give us a route down onto the top of this so they can start building it from the other direction. Yeah, there seems fine. Get some stairs in. Where do we want to connect this? We could just come down this way. Oh no, that was nearly a disaster. An entire section here we hadn't blocked off. I am going to put impermeable tiles on top of the levees, even though it's not required, just for the aesthetic. That's great, so they should be able to get on with that. Of course, that is only the tunnel. What we need to do is put the cap on this, so the water doesn't just whoosh out of the top whenever the bad tide happens. So this is going to be mostly double height platforms. Oh, this is the problem with using beavers as builders. When they run out of fuel, they don't give up the work, but they certainly take their time about it. Guys, take a break, get some fuel, hand off the work to somebody else. I really don't care. He's slowing everything down. That's the problem. Okay, so wherever we can get these double platforms, we'll get these in. It's handy because most of this is on top of this raised area that we can leave in place. I was considering raising the ground to reduce the amount of water underneath, but I'm not convinced it's worth it. It'll save us quite a lot of logs though, because if we chop the legs off, it makes a difference between 4 logs per platform and 2 logs per platform. Yeah, let's undo this. Make sure we're only deleting the platforms. I need to be careful not to build too close to the... Oh no, I don't. Because if I put that earth there... Yeah, I can then use that as the footing or the platform. So we can build right up to the water sources. And I don't think encapsulating the water source actually limits the amount of water it puts out. I think it just all comes out the top instead with a fixed flow rate. So I'm not too worried about that. So yeah, we'll build all this up by 1 level. Yes, that's that base put in. My beavers can still get to the scrap metal to clear that. Yep, we can leave our beavers doing that for a while. Progress is being made, but it is extremely slow progress. Let's see where we're at. They're working on the tunnel first, which is fine because I put that in first. So they've got a load of these platforms in, and they're gradually building the walls around it. So I'm happy with the progress there. But I think I will put the overhangs in so we can see where they need to go. So that will go there. We've got another water source here. Another water source here. Cool. Any more? On here. Here. And we've got a drought approaching. That's fine. We're fine for droughts. And now it's daytime again. You can actually see what I'm doing. Here. And I think that might be all of them. Cool. So now we've done that, we're going to know that we just need to come in with the wooden platforms and just fill everything that's left. You see this section of tunnel really coming together over here now. This part's nearly going to be done. Excellent. So while they're doing that, we can go over here and all this dynamite is now in, so we can bring this level down. Oh, let's just get one last dynamite in here, where those stairs were. Prioritize that so they actually come and do it. In time for some antisocial nighttime explosions. Good stuff. Not sure how we missed these over here. Okay, that one's a slope which needs manually destroying. Oh, that's a nuisance. I'm gonna have to build a ladder up here. A ladder? Excuse me, stairs. Just so we can get to remove the dead tree. That's a problem. And demolish that. Prioritize these so they get done. Well, as expected, this is taking a little while, but look at our tunnel. That's going great. These first lower sections done, making great progress with the upper sections. Out. The overspill is nearly done. Have I? Okay, so we've missed a block there, so let's get that in. Oop. I'll be able to get to that fine. Ultimately, we'll do something a little bit more elegant for getting it off the map and just letting it spill down this hill. But that'll be fine. Great. Ah, that last little piece of scrap has gone there. Which means we can come in and fill that area. Those are all in the wrong direction. So it'll be much better if we spin those round, just so they can start at the back and work their way forwards. They would have got it done, but would have likely got some beavers stuck in this corner or something, so much easier to do it that way now while we've got the opportunity. How much metal have we got left here? 24 and 53, so not long before that's gone. And then we can get rid of all these paths and bring it all up to the same level and have them working on the top of the stuff they've already built, so that'll be great. Okay, so while that's being built, I want to start looking over here and what we can do about getting some water through. The level is still quite a lot lower here, but I don't know if I want to bother. It's a lot of work to bring this entire level down, but it will mean all this gets irrigated. The main reason is I want to have a little pool of water here and get some Lidos in there and just work on their well-being a little bit. There's our power tower, coping very well these days with all these extra windmills we built. Yeah, how deep is that? I think we're actually going to bring this down another 2 levels just for the irrigation, if nothing else. So as a secondary project, not that they need it, we'll start working on clearing this area. Back over here, we can see they've made amazing progress. They've really nearly got that entire level in this corner. The tunnel is nearly complete. Cycle 62, day 22. And the tunnel is almost done. Just this last block left to go in, which I'm going to prioritise just for completeness. We've got 1 stranded beaver. That's because I built these in the wrong direction, so that is my fault. And no one can actually get to help him, which isn't ideal. How much trouble do we go to? I think we should go to the trouble, so I'm going to clear this out and let them mount a rescue mission. So you've got those tiles in there. Prioritize a route to him, and then prioritize these, and hopefully that should pop him out. Lay a path on top. And let's see if they can rescue him. And the start of cycle 63. We've filled this area in with dirt blocks. I did it, but it was at night, so you wouldn't have been able to see anything. But we have laid a path across and prioritized a route to the stranded beaver, so hopefully he'll be able to pop out sooner rather than later. And he's out. It's night time, so you might not be able to see, but he is out. But we have another stranded beaver here. He got stranded on the mission. So now we have 2 stranded beavers. Somehow he got pushed under there. And Timberbot 487 wasn't thinking during the rescue mission, and now he's under there as well. Nothing to do in range. Ah, that's our scrap bots here. So we'll get rid of those. Actually, we can delete these altogether, so we won't need them again. And that just leaves 16 scrap metal for these last 2 to reach. Now we'll be able to fill in that gap as well. 15 scrap metal. How are our stranded beavers doing? Badly. I'm relying on the slow motion, fuelless beaver boss. And he's out! Timberbot 375 is free. Now just 487 to rescue. And Timberbot 487 is out. He's been freed from his self-made prison. Now this is unfortunate. They've built this ground here, which means these scrapbots can now no longer reach. That's irritating. So if I pause this block to stop it getting finished, and I think if we delete this, that might do it. So okay, so that didn't actually work. So what we've had to do instead is come around the corner of the stairs and bring them down closer, which now puts that back in range. But unfortunately, the water level has now risen to a point that my scavenger flags are flooded. So we've filled all that in, built the path round for them, got rid of those stairs we weren't using anymore, and they're making really short work of that. 4 scrap metal left, and then we'll be in a position of having to strip out this scaffold and potentially have a bridge, a suspension bridge coming out, just so they can get to it. Although we might just let them run down round the long way. And then we can start with our last bit of platforms. Let's see how they're going on over here. Yeah, so some of the builders were idle while we're doing that last bit, so they've cleared all of this. Which means we can start getting the dynamite in. How far do we want to bring it down? We're going to bring it down 2 levels, didn't we? Yeah, 2. Got plenty of extract. And not loads of explosives, but some. And not loads of bad water. Let's increase our workers in there for a little while. Because we did reduce them while the demand for bad water wasn't particularly high. But it's about to be. And then, how far do we want to come? Yeah, that's fine. We'll go that far. So we've got the dynamite laid out that far in, and they're already on with it, so that's great. So that suggests that over here, yep, they've all done. That's the scrap metal gone, so we can get rid of that. Fill those in. Thought for a second that was a water source, but it's just some rubble. So fill those in. We'll make short work of that. Get rid of my guys, because they've got nothing left to do now. Do we need any of this anymore? Because we need to take out these center stairs anyway. We'll leave it in for now, because they'll be able to build down off of it for when they're doing the platforms. Speaking of which, oh, get rid of those stairs. Yeah. For a second, I thought they weren't going to be able to reach this, but of course they're going to be able to come down and go the long way. It's when to cycle 63, day 10. I've had to prioritize these because all of the builders were off doing all this dynamite, which is a lot. Absolutely ravaged our supplies of dynamite, and we're not even halfway there. I'm not crazy about where we are for logs. I don't quite understand why we're not doing better than that. We are constantly using treated planks and gears here when they have treated planks. We have plenty in store. They're only here, so I don't know why they haven't got any. But yeah, so I think we're going to be in real trouble for logs by the time we built all these platforms in here. But that's fine. We've always got a nice supply of logs coming in. Although it has just leapt up. How peculiar. Have we got any mature trees? Oh no. So we're at the point now where they're chopping them down as fast as they can grow. So we might need another tree farm soon. Okay, with all this done down here, time to start getting some platforms in. So that's all our platforms in. I have just noticed here we missed one of the water sources. It's got an overhang over it. So sneak that in and come in with our impermeable floors. And that is the impermeable floors in. We are going to have to come back and take care of this, but we're leaving that in for just now, so we'll do that at the end. And we are probably... where are we for dynamite? We've only got one dynamite left. So I think that'll free up a load of builders who won't actually be able to work over here. But they are doing the extract. I'm going to deprioritize all this dynamite. And then the builders should come over and start working on our floors. And they're nearly done. Just filling this last corner in, which shouldn't take too long at all. And then it'll be time for the impermeable floor to start getting built. I'm really pleased with how this is going. I think it might have been more efficient to fill some more of the space underneath with dirt and create a smaller ring around the outside for the water sources. Dirt just seems to go quicker for these large builds than platforms, but ultimately I'm quite happy with how this is ending out. Cool. Last couple of holes in the platform. See the metal starting to come down for the impermeable floors. Who is going to be finishing this? And it's done. Excellent. And the impermeable floors are only 1 metal each, so they're flying in. And they're making great progress with this. Cycle 63, day 23. The drought in progress. That's not really affecting us too much anywhere. We are struggling for logs. So we will need a new forester, I think, and a new forest area sooner rather than later. But this is coming in great, so I think we can start deleting this scaffold now and reclaiming the resources. Prioritize that so it gets picked up while they can reach it. So that's 1 square left, 1 tile with impermeable floor left to build. I have had to build some stairs up this slope so we can get to this rubble because I didn't want to just leave it there. But yeah, not much left to do at all. And the impermeable floor is finished. So that is done. All we've got to wait for now is a bad tide to see if it works. But I can't see any reason why it wouldn't. So, with our rubbish picked up behind us, and another pool, theoretically free of bad water. Just need to wait for a bad tide to test it. I think we're good. We can get back to filling this up. It's going to take a while because of the dynamite requirement. Yeah, I think for one video, that's some good progress. If you want to see if this works, the next time I've got a bad tide, join me next time. But for now, have a good one.